Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories, the podcast that takes listener ideas and turns them into bedtime stories. Tonight's idea comes from someone named Levi. Levi emailed me this idea a little while ago, and I'm finally getting to it. Basically, Levi wanted a paper planet where there's a person who meets you and teaches you how to make any kind of origami you want. He also specifically asked for me to mention New Zealand. So, New Zealand. It is a place I'd really like to go someday, but I've never been to it. I'm guessing Levi's from New Zealand. I came across the idea again when I was going back through my email to find all of my story and art submissions that came to me for the art and story contest, which it's finally time to announce the winners of. And as you may remember, the winners of each get a guaranteed story idea, which might be their very own story that we turn into a full-length one. So yeah, why don't we start with the winner of the story contest? Now, I had a lot of really cool submissions for the story contest, so it was super, super hard to choose, honestly. But in the end, I went with a story about a shapeshifter by someone named Oliver from Australia. Sydney, Australia, to be exact. So congratulations, Oliver. If you're listening, just send me another email or I will send you one, and we'll figure out when we can get together and figure out an episode. Next up, we had an artwork contest, and you guys didn't disappoint in that one either. I got lots and lots of really cool submissions, and it was really neat to see people drawing stuff that came from my imagination in the first place, so that was kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, I did decide on a winner, even though it was also incredibly hard. And that winner is Audrey from Victoria, BC. And Audrey did a lot of really, really cool pictures. She gave me some Ring of Many Dragons pictures. She gave me some spaceship pictures. She made me a card for Magnus from the Cards of Power series. And I believe she even did one from the Magic Library series, which was really cool. So thank you everyone who entered. I'm going to print off all of these pictures, and I'm going to put them on the wall behind me for when I'm podcasting. But now, I should probably get on to the actual podcast, after a possible word from a possible sponsor, if you're not listening on Patreon, of course. Time to get as comfy as you can in that bed, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Alert, 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 alert. You hear Spaceship's voice saying. You quickly sit up in bed, swing your legs over the side, and open your eyes. What? What's happening, Spaceship? Is everything okay? You ask. Yes, everything is fine. I just thought it would be a fun way to wake you up. I have discovered a new planet. Oh, well, at least there's that. Though, I don't think that requires an alert. You could maybe wake me up with something more gentle next time. Understood. I may follow that suggestion. Okay. What's the planet? The planet seems to be some sort of origami or paper planet. Paper grows naturally on trees instead of being made from trees, and the people of the planet seem to create interesting origami structures which have a way of coming to life. The paper comes to life? Yes, once folded into an appropriate shape. That sounds really weird. Yes, it is weird. I detect traces of magic and uncertainty in the atmosphere. Oh, well, that could explain it. Indeed. Would you like me to set a course? Spaceship asks. Yeah, set a course, you say as you get out of bed and get into your clothes for the day. You head out of the bedroom area, over to the little breakfast nook, and you use the replicator to make one of your favorite breakfasts. It's pretty cool to see it just sort of appear right in front of you. You scarf it down, and before long, Spaceship jumps out of super hyperdrive. You walk over to the command center. You sit down in the command chair and grab a hold of the controls. You press forward on the throttle and head straight down towards the Oragami planet. It's fairly Earth-like in origin, though it has little traces of pastel colors everywhere. You blast through the atmosphere. You dip down below the clouds, and soon you get a look at, well, what's below. Forests and forests of beautiful trees with all sorts of different pastel colors. Each tree has different colors of leaves, sort of unnatural looking ones, pastel blues, pinks, yellows, and hanging from each tree on what look like little vines or strings are gigantic square pieces of paper just sort of flapping in the wind. Origami paper. Stranger yet are all of the creatures you see flying around and hopping through the forest as you get lower. You fly past some, well, paper cranes. Living paper cranes, flapping their paper wings. They look over towards the ship, then back to what they're doing and just continue to fly. On the ground, there's all sorts of animals, only they're all made of paper too. Paper bears, paper pandas, paper frogs, paper seals, paper rhinos, paper giraffes, all roaming around the world, each one made of a different pastel color. Soon, you find a gigantic sign flashing in the distance, also made from, well, what looks like origami paper. It floats in the sky and reads, "Welcome," with a gigantic arrow pointing down. Spaceship, I think this might be where we're meant to land. What gave you that idea? Spaceship asks. The giant welcome sign? Yes, I saw that too. I was just messing with you. Okay. You carefully come in for a landing, just under the floating welcome sign. There's a large open patch of grass surrounded by a forest of origami paper trees or whatever they are. And standing there is some guy. The back hatch of the ship opens and you step outside. "Hello, friends," the person says. "My name is Levi, and I'm here to welcome you to the Oragami planet, or the paper planet as we sometimes call it." You're here to welcome us? Do you just wait here all day for people to show up in spaceships? "That's right, that's my job," Levi answers. "Do spaceships visit a lot?" you ask. "Not really," Levi answers. "Most of the time I just make origami on my own. Are there other people here too? Oh, yes. We do have a small population of very creative people. They spend their days making things out of paper. It's a very leisurely lifestyle as the planet provides us with everything we need with very little work. And if we need something else, we just make ourselves a little origami helper, and they can do the work for us. So you use origami like helper robots to do your chores? I don't know what a helper robot is, Levi says, but maybe? Anyways, speaking of helpers, I'm here to help you. Help us what, you ask? Well, help you enjoy the wonderful Oragami planet. A place where you can create anything you wish and bring it to life. As long as you can fold it out of paper, of course. You just stand there staring at him, not sure what to ask next. Let me show you, he says, walking over to one of the trees and gently pulling off a gigantic square of blue pastel-colored origami paper. He places the paper on the ground and quickly begins to fold, bringing the corners in, folding them up, moving them around, crossing them over, unfolding them, popping something inside, and then giving it a little tug, revealing a paper crane. At first, it does nothing. It just looks like a paper crane, but then some sort of strange sparkle passes through the paper, and it begins to move. The paper suddenly looks more real somehow, still paper-like, but now animated and living in some ways. It begins to flap its wings and flies up into the air, circling around above you before flying off into the distance. Cool, you say? Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Anyways, you want to try? Levi pulls another piece of paper off of the tree and hands it over to you. All right, just follow what I do step by step. So you do just that, following every fold that Levi makes, creating a little tail and beak, little wings at the sides, folding them in just the right way, and then revealing your paper crane, which looks a little wonky compared to Levi's, but not bad for a first try. Just like his, a wave of sparkles passes through the paper and it begins to flap its wings. It flies away, as does Levi's example. Cool. What else can we make? Honestly, you can make almost anything you can think of, and it should come to life. You're telling me I could make, like, an airplane? You ask. I don't know what an airplane is, but I assume you can make an airplane. What about, like, a gigantic pirate ship? Can we put different pieces of paper together to make bigger things? Of course we can. In fact, if you want to make a pirate ship or an airplane, I'll help you, even though I don't know what either of those things is. Perhaps I could be of help, Spaceship says. Earth's database has a large collection of origami creations. I believe this could be the boat you're looking for. A screen pops up on the side of the ship and displays a huge list of instructions for creating an origami pirate ship. There are also instructions for various types of paper planes, not normally considered origami. However, they are a great deal of fun. So, you and Levi start to follow the instructions, only in a much larger size, and create the pirate ship. It starts to take on a magnificent shape. A gigantic ship stretched out with a huge paper mast and sail. When you're done, you look up at the gigantic ship. It flashes with that same sparkle of light, then floats up off the ground just a little bit. Suddenly, everything on it looks more solid, more real, as if it's all one single sheet of hard paper that's come together. It has a bit of a life of its own, floating around just above the ground like some sort of flying ship. It makes you wonder what would happen if you created a paper airplane, so you grab a large piece of paper and begin to fold, bringing in the corners, folding again, folding the thing in half, and then folding down the wings, just as you would if you were making a paper airplane in class or something. The plane flashes to life and floats up in the air. You decide to test it out to see if you can actually sit on it. Could it carry your weight? You sit down on the plane and sure enough, it lifts up off of the ground. This is so cool. How do I control it? You ask Levi. Well, it sort of controls itself. Unless, of course, you build in controls. You jump off the plane and run over for another piece of paper. You start to immediately fold it together into what look like little controls, a joystick and another lever that could act as a throttle, at least in your imagination. You place them at the front of the airplane and kind of fold them under some other pieces of paper to hold them in place. Another flash of sparkling light, and they suddenly look more real and more solid. You climb atop the airplane again. This time you grab a hold of the joystick and press forward on the little paper throttle control. The plane blasts forward. You pull back on the joystick and it lifts up in the air. You fly around the huge ship in circles and decide you'll try to land on it. You aim for the back of the giant pirate ship where there's a huge opening. You slowly pull back on the controls, allowing the paper plane to glide down and land gently on the back of the pirate ship. Cool. You climb off of the ship and you and Levi work on making all sorts of other things too. Seals, frogs, otters, giraffes, bears, anything you can think of. Each one comes to life when it's done being folded, and you lead them on to the huge flying pirate ship. When the ship is full of all sorts of different animals, you climb aboard. You head toward the back where there's a gigantic paper wheel. You grab a hold of the wheel, order the animals to drop the sails and stuff, and to your surprise, they listen. The otter pulls on a little rope made of paper chains, and the paper sails drop down. They catch the wind, and the pirate ship begins to drift off into the air. You find that as you pull back on the gigantic wheel, the ship sort of aims up like an airplane, sailing higher and higher above the origami world. You, Levi, and your entire army of origami animals fly above the forests of pastel-colored paper. You fly over a mountain peacefully until you see something in the distance that looks less conducive to paper. It looks kind of like fire. What's that, you ask, pointing to the fiery-looking mountain in the distance. Oh, that's where the Oramies live. Oh, what are Oramies, you ask? Oramies are the enemies to origami, fire beings that like nothing more than to burn the creations we create. We don't like them. Oh, well, maybe we should stay away from them since the entire ship is made of paper. I would highly recommend it. Oh no, Levi says. What is it? I think they've spotted us. Look over there. You see 5 flashes of fire floating up from the volcano-like thing in the distance and flying directly towards you. Brace yourselves, everyone. The Oramies are coming. The gigantic paper seal and gigantic paper otter look towards the side. They start clapping their fins together as if they're ready for battle. The little fire beings, which honestly look like just little balls of fire, blast straight towards the ship. The huge otter spins its tail and whacks one of them right out of the sky. It falls down to the forest below, and, well, it sort of puts itself out as it hits the ground. Good job, you say to the otter. Another flies down and the seal whacks it with its tail, hitting it into one of the others and knocking both of them out of the sky. Perfect. Then more Oramies appear. Close to 100 of them fly out of the volcano and head straight towards the paper ship. I think we're going to need something to defend ourselves with, you say. Quick, Levi, start folding. Folding what? Levi asks. I don't know, catapults or cannons or something, things that would go on a ship. So, you and Levi begin to fold. You create something that looks like the barrel of a cannon and place it up against the side of the ship. Luckily, the same sparkly magic thing takes over and it suddenly looks real. You ball up a bunch of pieces of paper, shove them inside, and move on to the next, creating 10 or 11 cannons before the creatures get there. Once they're in range, you start to fire, ordering the little origami animals to pull a little thing on the back of the cannon that shoots the paper ball out towards the enemies. So many pieces of paper fly through the air and start to collide with the little fire beings. Strangely, they actually create little explosions as they hit. The fire beings ignite and fall to the ground. It's almost as if the paper cannons become real, or at least way more effective than paper would be. Unfortunately for you, there are way more Oramies than you can possibly hit with the cannons. Continue to fire, you yell towards your little paper animal helpers. A little frog and little giraffe nod in understanding and continue loading the cannon with balls of paper and firing them at the Oramies. You see the paper airplane at the back of the ship and an idea hits you. Just like the controls became real when you put them on, maybe you can create other things too. This planet doesn't seem to follow any kind of normal rules after all, so you begin to fold. You fold pieces of paper into what look like miniature cannons. Then you look over at Levi. Any chance you have a pen or something? Sure, Levi says, pulling a pen out of his pocket and handing it to you. On the side of the cannons, you write the word freeze ray. The cannons flash to life. You place them on the sides of the airplane and they seem to sort of lock into place. What are those? Levi asks. Well, hopefully they're freeze cannons, you say. You grab a hold of the controls, press forward on the little paper joystick, and the paper plane blasts off into the air, much faster than the ship can go. You zip around the ship, aim it towards some of the Oramies, and press a little button on the top of the throttle, just hoping things will work as you imagine they will. And to your surprise, they do. 2 blue beams of light shoot out of the little paper cannons and hit the Oramies in the air, freezing them instantly and dropping them out of the sky. Perfect, you say, as you pull back on the controls. You flip the ship backwards, land behind some more of the Oramies, and blast again. All the while, the ship continues to fire large balls of paper that knock the creatures out of the sky. Seeing that things aren't going so well for them, one of the little fire creatures seems to sort of wave to the others, and then they all blast off back towards the volcano. The animals on the pirate ship cheer, as does Levi. You steer the paper plane back towards the back of the ship, try to time it just right, and skid to a halt right before hitting the steering wheel. That was amazing. How did you know you could make freeze cannons? Levi asks. I don't know. Everything here seems to sort of come to life if you want it to, and I just sort of followed that principle. Cool. You spend the rest of the day flying around the origami planet, surrounded by all sorts of different paper creations, until the sun begins to set. You turn the ship around and come for a landing right beside your own spaceship. You press forward on the gigantic wheel, and slowly the ship lowers down bit by bit before gliding to a gentle stop. Well, Levi, thanks for showing me how to fold all these things. I really appreciate it. No problem, Levi says. Come visit any time. In the meantime, I'm gonna keep this ship to play with. Well, have fun, you say, as you slide off the side of the ship down a little rope made of linked pieces of paper. You climb back into the spaceship and wave goodbye as it lifts up off of the ground. You head to your bedroom area. You lay down in the bed, pull the covers up to your chin, and slowly you focus on your breath. With each breath, your mind begins to wander off. Your muscles relax. You sink down into the mattress. And the more you breathe, the more your muscles sink. The more you relax, and the better you feel. You let go of the tension in your arms, and your legs, and your shoulders, your neck, and even your face, just allowing yourself to sink into the mattress. And soon, your mind begins to wander off as well, off to thoughts of new dreams, new origami creations, and new adventures to come. Good night, everyone.